So how's it going, guys? This is Ryo Murata, photographer based in Tokyo. So Mount Takao, the only mountain that exists in Tokyo, and it's one of the mountains I despise the most because if you ever lived on the western part of Tokyo during your early years, during elementary school and middle school, 100% of the time, if you're a school student, teachers force you to sort of like go on a field trip and you have to like climb that mountain. I went there numerous of times and I did not like the experience, unfortunately, because I'm not a hiker. I'm not a super nature enthusiast. But it's interesting to note that my teachers back then, like middle school and also elementary school days, my teachers kept saying never to use the lifts or the cable car up Takao Mountain. And if you guys know about Takao Mountain, it is actually located like 1 hour away from Shinjuku Station on the Kaole line. And to make it fair for a lot of people, the Takao Mountain themselves, you can basically hike up the mountain. They have like 5 or 6 routes, and along with that, for people who are like me, who are really lazy, there are cable car options and also like ski lifts, if I'm right. And like I said, my teachers back then never recommended using those at all, and I actually never had the experience riding on the lifts, so I thought, why not sort of like allocate one day to just shoot some photos, use the lifts. And if you actually use the lifts up the Takao Mountain, you can basically just walk roughly 1 hour or so to get to the top of the sort of like a mountain scene, actually, of how how high was that mountain. I forgot, but I think it's like 855 meters or so. So I thought, yeah, why not just go there to just shoot some photos. Takao Sanguchi Station, which is basically the last stop on the Kaole line, I realized I had Kodak Gold 200 left over from my previous shoot, and I basically snapped away around the station area. And in front of the station there was a sort of like a trick art museum. Unfortunately, I did not go in there, but the outer white called building was really interesting, so I like shot some photos in the remaining like Kodak Gold 200, and then I basically swapped it out with the Fuji Pro 400H, which I still had in stock actually in my fridge, and I thought, why not just shoot in this area with the Fuji Pro 400H, because it produces better results in terms of the greens and also the cyans. And unfortunately to say, my first roll, I actually got a fat roll, which, when did I last get a fat roll? Maybe like a year ago, but this was rather unusual. But it happens when you basically wind the film too loose and there was like gaps in between the negatives. When you roll it, when you basically finally wind the film together, and because there's some gap space in between the film negatives, light can leak through, and which produce these types of results. So yeah, that's basically my video on sort of like shooting around on the Takao-san area. Unfortunate to say, I actually went during the weekends, and there's like so many people who go on the weekends, and I would not suggest going on weekends because there's like a lot of people, and also if you use the lifts to go up, you won't have any problems, but going down actually, there's like so many people waiting in line to get onto the lifts, and because there's not many lifts being operated, and because these lifts go really slow, because if it goes too fast it will cause accidents and stuff like that, a lot of people descend the mountains in the afternoons, and these people just get sort of like how should I say, there's like so many people trying to go down, but because there's not much in operations, it took me roughly 1 hour to actually descend the mountains on the lifts, because you get these like tickets, and in order for your time to come, you have to like wait in line in order actually. So that took roughly 1 hour or so, and especially in this time of sort of like season where it's getting really cold, especially in November and December, and because it's in the afternoon, and Takao is basically located on the western side of Tokyo, the temperature difference between the urban area and Mount Takao is roughly 5 to 10 degrees or so. So it gets really cold, and there's nothing much to do around the top of the mountains, especially near the lifts area. So that's actually something to look out for if you're ever coming to Takao on the weekends. Okay, that's basically it on my video on Takao Mountain. Unfortunately, there were too many people, and it was actually hard to like compose the shots, and because I had a fat roll, I did not get the results that I wanted. But if I had the opportunity, obviously I would highly recommend going on a weekday when there's less people, and when the leaves are changing colors, there's going to be more and more people. So this is sort of like a trade-off. Obviously, if you go during the bland season, there's not going to be much people. But yeah, you could take your time and just shoot peacefully. But this time around, there were too many people, unfortunately. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I'm happy to reply. And yeah, we will see you next time. Peace out.